Hey, good morning. How y'all doing? It is, well, Red Beard. It's a damn fine day to talk about a book. Some books. We're here for Beard Book Talk episode 4. This is basically a weekly wrap up, like I've said before. So, it's where I tell you what I read, what I got, what I'm going to read. Got through one thing, got big chunks out of some other stuff, got some cool books. Again, like I've said, I've bought and sold a lot of these books 20 times over in my 47 years. I'll get in a place, build a book collection, move, let some of them go, and repeat, or fall out of it altogether, and know that eventually I'm going to want these books back. But the hunt's kind of part of the fun for me. So a lot of these books I've had before, but I didn't have now. And now that I got the new setup with the shelves and whatnot, I've been picking some things up. So what I read, I finished Sliver by Ira Levin. It's all right. I mean, two, three probably three. I liked it, and I'll tell you about it here fairly soon. In the last couple months, I've done Son of Rosemary. I've done Stepford Wives, and I've done Sliver. So Sliver's my third favorite Ivor 11 that I've done behind Rosemary's Baby, and then Stepford Wives, and then Sliver, and then Son of Rosemary. So, but again, the man only had 7 novels. So my goal is to read the rest of them this year. I've got a copy of The Boys from Brazil coming, a copy of A Kiss Before Dying coming, and a copy of, I think it's called The Perfect Day. That's the one that kind of eluded me. Like I didn't, I knew about the other two. I didn't. Anyway, and then he's got a bunch of plays, which I have not even begun to look and see if there's a easily accessible format as for paper format. I don't really read digitally. If there's an easily accessible format to read some of his plays, but for right now, I want to get through his 7 novels. That's a goal. So I finished Sliver, probably 3. So I read 70 pages in A Sliver of Darkness. Well, that's pretty odd. What are the odds? Sliver and A Sliver of Darkness by C.J. Tudor. And that got me basically through the first 2 stories. So I'm working on that. And I have done roughly 500 pages, I think. I'm marked it. 550 or so pages in Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King and Owen King, and this is my audio, and so I'll be wrapping this up this week too. All right, the fun stuff. What did I get? So I bought a Stephen King lot on eBay, and it wasn't super cheap. I think I gave like 150 for it, mostly because it had a copy of The Shining in hardcover that I needed, and it had a copy of Carrie in hardcover that I needed. In like full size. I don't care about. I mean, I do care about first editions, but I like the full size non book club editions for King anyway. Like other books, I'll buy the book club. But anyway, so it had Shining, which I needed, and it had Carrie, which I needed. But it also had Salem's Lot, which I didn't need. It had a couple copies of The Stand. It had everything like early works. Like no, it wasn't like this lot didn't have any like of his newer post 1990 stuff in it. It was, I don't know, 8 to 10 books, but I'll show you. So in that lot, for I got Stephen King, The Stand, the complete and uncut, nice, pretty nice damn version of it. So I got that, and then I also got The Stand. Now this is a book club edition, and another Stand book club edition. Now here's the question: one of them is quite a bit thicker than the other, and if you know why, I would like to know, because I don't know why. But I got 2 copies of this now. The other question is I have the complete and uncut on my shelf right there. I do not have one of these on my shelf. Do you do that? I know some of you do it, but for me, like, I'm like, okay, books I really like, I want a nice copy of it, and then I'm done. Like, I'm not one of these sorts that goes out and buys 20 versions of the same book. But do you do that? Like, for example, do I need to keep one of these to have it up there by the complete and uncut? I would like to know your opinion. Let me know. So there was a copy of Misery in there. Now I already have a copy of this one, and this one's kind of beat up at the top. Mine's kind of faded though, like the coloring's kind of faded. So I don't know. Also, when I get a box of books like this, I kind of evaluate what I have and what I got, and then choose the better of the two. But like I said, this lot had a nice copy of Salem's Lot. This one might be better than the one I have, so I might be keeping this one. I don't know. It had a book club edition of Firestarter, which I didn't have a hardcover copy of Firestarter, so that's cool. This goes in the collection until I find a non-book club edition. It had Thinner by Richard Bachman. I needed this one as well. I mean, I'd had it before, but I needed it. But the 2 that I really bought a lot for were The Shining and Carrie. I don't know that I've ever owned a hardcover copy of Carrie, but I do now. So that was a lot. I gave what I gave. You tell me if you think that was a pretty good deal. I think it was. I think it was priced just at the point that no one was bidding on it, and I was able to just kind of, I mean, that's what happened. I put like the initial bid, and no one else bid, because it is some money, but that was a lot of, high dollar, or at least, not high dollar, but a lot of Stephen King books that have at least some money associated with them, right? So that was cool. I bought one other book on eBay. I bought a lot of books on eBay, but I bought one other book on eBay that showed up before shooting this video. Again, like I said, I've been reading Levin. And so I've got my Son of Rosemary up here. I've got my Stepford Wives. I've got Sliver that will be going up there, soon after I review it. I've got the other 3 on the way. I know this for a fact, I've never owned a hardcover copy of Rosemary's Baby, and I picked this up on eBay. So very happy it'll go up there. I've read this book twice, watched the movie at least twice. I don't know that I've ever reviewed it though, so I'm probably gonna, no, I don't know if I did or not. I know that we read this for, I can't even remember the name of the podcast I was on. We read like old books. It was with Brendan LaFaro and Pat McDonough, and anyway, so got a hardcover copy of Rosemary's Baby, and that glare is not great. I went to Half Price Books, and they didn't really have anything like on the horror shelf, didn't really have anything on the $2 shelf. I saw this the last time I was there, and I walked away from it. This time, I kind of looked at eBay to see if I could get it cheaper, and there were some that were a little bit cheaper, but they weren't in this condition, and so I bit the bullet. It's one of my favorite horror books of all time. It's one of my favorite vampire books of all time, and I have never owned a hardcover copy of this, but I got I Am Legend. It is a book club edition, but I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. So I got a lot of cool books this week, and that is almost it. I went to 3rd Street Stuff in Lexington, Kentucky, and it used to be like a shop with a coffee shop / bistro type thing, They've kind of done away with the shop, and there's just a small little section where they sell some stuff. I'm a big Frank X. Walker fan, and I don't know we can see them here, but they're here somewhere. It's all the way over here, like right. Anyway, I've read like 5 or 6 Frank X. Walker books. I think his first one was Appalachia, and but I've read a bunch of them, and this was there. Love House by Frank X. Walker. It's poetry. I'm assuming it's his latest, and because it was a local shop and because it was a local author, I grabbed this. So that is it. One thing that I brought, again, I've been bringing books that I've read back up here, and I brought a couple Steve Stredd books that I've read, and this one was in there, and I realized that I still have not read this. So this one is one that I already owned, but I've kind of brought it back up, and I'll probably be reading this in the near future. So that's everything I got. What am I going to read? Again, we'll be finishing Sleeping Beauties this week. I don't know what my next audio is going to be. I will say that this was a first read for me. I use audio often to reread, like stuff that I haven't reviewed. Like I've done a lot of King that way. I'll probably be another King. I mean, I've thought about getting back into the Dark Tower. Again, my story with the Dark Tower is I've read the first 3 twice, the 4th one once, and never gone any further. So I might be doing that. I might do Misery. I've thought about basically anything that I've read, but I haven't done a Beard on King episode on. So I don't know exactly what the next audio will be, but it's coming. Probably finish this week. Might be doing some shorts on shorts. I don't know. Again, this is CJ Tudor's A Sliver of Darkness. I think the next thing I want to read is this Wounds to Wishes book. I showed you last week. I haven't really started it. It's Chad Lusky, John Bowden, Robert Ford, Tales of Mystery and Melancholy. Probably be the next thing that I get into after A Sliver of Darkness, or maybe at the same time. It just depends. And then I've still got Broad Street Bastard by Chad Lutsky also that I want to read. Kind of want to do a smaller press indie. I've been doing a lot of more mainstream stuff. So I think that's pretty much it. This is Well Read Beard. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying all your books. Now remember, I asked some questions. Let me know what you think about The Stand and about why they're different and things like that. And I appreciate you being here. I hope you're enjoying all your books, all of them, as much as I am. If not, you're reading the wrong damn books.